I don't like Schwab's U.S. Dividend Equity ETF, or SCHD. I understand why some people do and have held on to it for so long, but it's not for me. And in this video, I want to present a case of why those who hold SCHD might consider some other ETFs, or for those thinking about getting into SCHD, why they might want to do more research and look at some other ETFs as well before making their decision. Of course, that decision is up to them because this is not financial advice, just financial information for your entertainment. So let's get into it. So let's turn to the year-to-date chart of Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF and compare it to two alternatives. First thing we see is that year-to-date, it is up 0.47%. Now, that was adjusted for dividends, so having those dividends paid in. If you don't, which you should always adjust for dividends, but if you don't, look at that. You'll see it's down 1.39%. You can verify that on Google. And what we are going to compare it to is, quite simply, VU, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. And we see that while Schwab is down, VU is up 8.98%, which is quite a difference. And if you adjust that, you'll see Schwab up 0.47%, VU adjusted for dividends, 9.7%. And VU's expense ratio, I don't know. I think it's like 0.03%. VU expense ratio, 0.03%. So even less than SCHD, which is nice. So again, these are kind of two different ETFs. The Schwab one is like, yeah, US companies that pay dividends and you're getting income there. But with VU, it's more of a growth thing because it's tracking the S&P 500. It's not paying as much dividends. You get more growth though because it is the S&P 500. It also goes down further than Schwab. Let's see, in the down market, the Schwab one was down 10%, VU was down 14%. So significant difference, but you also get the upside. Plus, are you really going to sell right here? So next, we're going to add in this ETF called SPYI. It's from a platform called Neos. And what SPYI does is it owns the S&P 500 stocks, but it writes covered calls on those, monthly covered calls, and it pays a monthly distribution. And that distribution annualized is about 12%. So here's the Neos website, SPYI, S&P 500, high income ETF, monthly distributions, definitely a high expense ratio, but that would be covered by this 12% distribution rate monthly. And you can see they haven't been around for that long, I think a few years. Here's the inception to date NAV performance, 13.81% annualized. There, you see the S&P is higher, so VU would be higher, but you're also getting that monthly income. So if you're an income investor, perhaps consider SPYI, but let's go back and look at how that has done compared to SCHD. So if you adjust for dividends, which yes, we have adjusted, you'll see SPYI up 8.55%, Schwab 0.47%. So SPYI not as high as VU, but then again, it's not a growth product, it's a growth and income product. With Schwab, it's like you're getting one world, which is the dividends. You're not getting the growth. With VU, you're only getting the growth, but SPYI is a compromise or a meet in the middle between both, though it's not meeting in the middle, it's meeting closer to VU, and it is getting your 12% dividends a year, and you're getting some of that growth. Now, if you just held on to VU, you'd be doing better overall. But if monthly income is important to you, then I think SPYI is a better alternative than SCHD. Now look at how SPYI did compared to VU and SCHD in the down markets. Blue is SCHD, yep. I think we said about 10%, and then SPYI down about 12.8, 12.9, 9%. And yeah, VU was down the most. So in that down market, though, you would still be getting your monthly income from SPYI, and then VU, when it recovers, look at that, you'd be getting that gain as well. So if you were to add to any of the, if you were here and you wanted to add to any of the positions, if you did either VU or SPYI, you're doing well. Even if you added to SCHD, you're doing well, but not as good as if you did the others. Now, let's go back as far as we can on this. And you'll see, okay, SPYI does not have as much history to track, so probably not fair, but a one-year comparison might be more fair. And again, you see VU 21.65%, SPYI 19, Schwab 4. And that, again, that is adjusted for dividends. If you don't adjust it for dividends, this is what it looks like as well. So two alternatives. One is kind of take that growth path, get VU, and just hold on to it. But if you need that monthly income, or yeah, if you need that monthly income, then you got SCHD. Do they even pay monthly? I think they pay. Yeah, they're paying quarterly. So they're not even paying monthly. That's right. And SPYI is paying monthly. So for me, it's better. For others who really like SCHD, if I haven't convinced you, that's okay. But let me know in the comments which of these three you prefer. What, if you were to buy, two of them, which one would you not buy? What are your thoughts on SPYI and VU as alternatives to SCHD? Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.